show you now is the actual curing process. Before we do that, I want to back up just a little bit and mention a couple of things. This particular mix that Troy uses requires just one good coat, exactly the way you saw us put it down. However, some tighter mixes, some different additives, the denser the mix, may require a little more detailed application technique, which is basically going to be a thin coat, the B cure, followed by another coat, and then B cure, A cure. And we will show you that in a later section. What we have right here is about 6 to 8 mils of material on the surface that, as you can see, it's leveled out just wonderfully. And I'm going to turn it over to Troy and let him cure this.
All right, thanks, Bob. All right, again, definitely wear your safety shield.
What Troy is doing now is a B cure. You want to be 2 to 3 feet above the surface. Our old recommendation used to be 2 feet, but the material is actually more sensitive now and has more photo initiators. So he's just doing a quick B cure. What you're really looking for in the B cure is to just gel the surface, to really not create a film, and that will cause the material to trigger off in the first stage of cure, which is the bonding section. So you want to move pretty quick. It's going to leave about the consistency of Vaseline on the surface. And he's coming right back with what we call the A cure, which is roughly 2 inches above the surface. And he's going to do this pass twice. Now your cadence on this pass is about 14 feet a minute. You don't want to go too slow, because you can burn the material, which will leave an amber tint to it.
Overlap.
You definitely want to overlap. Remember, even though that light that Troy's holding is about 1 foot long, the bulb is only 5 inches. So you kind of use the vents on the side of the light itself as a guide. Just make sure you get it overlapped. The cadence is pretty forgiving. Just try and keep in mind that if you're doing an 8-foot countertop, it's about 30 seconds per pass to get down to the end. You want to cure the surface first, just like Troy is doing, and then cure your edges. If you cure the edges first, stray light across the surface may cause some wrinkles in the surface. That it's no big deal if they happen. You'll just have to sand them out. It's just a little more work after the fact. Now he's going to take this lamp and make the pass the other way. The reason why we do this is sort of the same way as applying coatings on a large surface. Just kind of as a little extra insurance to ensure that you don't miss any spots. As you can see from the movement of Troy's hand, it's not absolutely critical that you're at exactly 2 inches. But you want to maintain it as best you can.
So long with
The other thing that may be helpful to note here is that if you have a helper with you, if you're doing a large top, you can pass the light back and forth between you. Well, Troy's just putting the finishing touches on this. At this point in time, it is pretty much just completely cured.
One other suggestion, this is a brand new light that we demoed for the video here, is as you notice my hand, it's very hard to actually perfectly hold this up at a certain depth off that. So another suggestion is you can actually put little spacers like felt tips on here, but at the different side, and you can actually slide it on the material after you do your beak here. And this will actually ensure that the depth is being controlled exactly.